Welcome back to the Court of the Grange Diaries. I'm Capella from Ryan, British author and screenplay writer. Today is the third attempt to get this video up and running. I have done the second episode in two different parts, and I just cannot get them to upload on YouTube. So because there's so many of you guys waiting and messaged me saying that you were waiting for my video yesterday, I couldn't get it up and done. I redid it this morning. That's all I've been doing the whole day, and I still can't get them up. So I'm gonna drop the 20 minutes down to 10 minutes and do several of them and get the whole gist out to you that way, because yesterday I did 40 minutes in one video and I just couldn't get it up. Today was 220s. They're not going up. So we'll see what we can do with 10. And for those of you who were waiting for the video yesterday, I am so sorry. I did do my part. I came out and I recorded them. It's tech, and I'm not that techy, so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to stop ranting and get it done within the next 9 minutes. So the last video was covered in September. So basically, for those of you who may not have seen that one, it was basically me being introduced as a hired help, just like soon after moving to the Court of the Grange. So I was hired, I wasn't hired, I wasn't paid anything. I was introduced as a hired help. But basically, I was introduced. This is the introduction was, hi, this is Capella. She's the hired help. She needs to be told things twice, and then she gets it. So basically, I'm Capella, the thicko. Yeah, very flattering, isn't it? And yet, I'm a British author, screenplay writer here in France, trying to have my first book made into the movie. That's why we came here in the first place, and the whole reason behind the moving. So, not very flattering for something that I'm trying to achieve and better in my life. Not that there's anything wrong with being a hired help. I just wasn't a hired help, and I've never been paid for helping out. The other things that I'm quickly going to go through again is I was told to work on a schedule. So that was basically 10 to 12. Not to go anywhere near the door between 12 and 4 because Tom was sleeping, but I needed to come back after lunch at 3 and work until 6. That was firstly 5 days a week, and then it turned into 7 days a week. But between 12 and 4, nobody is allowed to go near the door because Tom's sleeping, and she will be, or when I say she, I mean Anne, will be really, really rude and coarse to you. All the tenants that were here before that all signed year leases. Joe and Chris signed a year, Dave signed a year. Joe and Chris stayed, I think, 4 months. That's because they were buying a house. They decided they weren't going to buy a house, and then they decided that they were after staying here. They didn't like it and said they'd never be back. Dave signed a year's lease and only stayed for, I think, around 2 months. And he came over to our house one day and complained about how rude Anne was when he forgot about the time, but he needed laundry coins for to be able to do some of his laundry, and how coarse and rude she was. So there was a lot of complaints by everybody. So it's not just me, it's just I'm the one that's putting it out there. The other one was chop when my work wasn't, she didn't think I was doing fast enough because it's so hot here in Northern Ireland. We don't have this kind of intense heat. And then it was also, before we moved here, they asked Dave to do a toilet seat in one of the other accommodations, and he apparently didn't do it to their standards, so they never asked him again. So for me it was chop. So it wasn't done to their satisfaction, and either was my work partner, because she's very, very quick and very keen to put people down, chip and insult. You can't do this right, you can't do that right. Don't you know the difference between a weed and parsley? Don't you know? Do you know what I mean? Just, it's just everything that she doesn't have the right to do or say or pick at people for. I mean, not everybody needs to be into agriculture, not everybody needs to be into botany just because she is. I mean, I am, but not everybody has to be. And she's no right to be judging anybody, nobody does. Early October, Anne had invited me over for tea with her and Tom, and that was because Dave and Colin had left to go back to the UK to get some more things, and they were Colin was gone for a couple of days and Dave was away for a week. When I was there was a huge conversation about almost every topic under the sun, but it was mostly Tom grilling me about my past and wanting to know where I came from, my family, what I've done, where I've been, and honestly grilling me like I was being interrogated in a police station. Honest to God, was that way. It was very intense, very impertinent, very personal, and very unnecessary. So went from the conversation to what really made my hair stand on edge was the fact that he had said that the tenants before that lived in the cottage I'm now in, he had ruined their business and started bragging about he had access to the website because he offered to help them. So he had access to the website and put up a whole bunch of lies and slander about them and damaged their business. It turned out that he not only damaged their business, they ended their business because of the things that he said that he admitted weren't true, but he was trying to get more money out of them. They contacted him and asked him to take down the slanderous information that wasn't true. He only agreed if they paid him money. And ending that conversation, he says to me, I'm not going to say exactly the word that he used because it is an obscenity, but he just said to me, "Don't effing mess with me." And I was just like, that was very early on, and that really made me uncomfortable because I left Northern Ireland for a better life, to be around better people, to be around more positive, just normal people that weren't criminals. And it was also in October that he invited calling me over to his house for a drink, and he had also confessed during that conversation to Anne's anger because she gave him the dirtiest cross look, and he admitted to being arrested 22 times in the UK for diamond heists, bank robberies, and burglaries, of whatever description you want to call them. He admitted to 22 times he was arrested, and 22 times he claims he was innocent. That also made me very uncomfortable because I do not want to be around that type of criminal. It's not that people can't change. It's just for my own safety as a woman, and that's just my personal preference, and it's always been that way. It's not that I would never associate with people like that. It's just I wouldn't want them in my tight knit or involvement necessarily. Not saying a clean sweep, but not necessarily. So he thought this was amazing that he had ruined this woman's business. And also during that conversation that evening admitted that they never pay anybody's deposit back. They always find something. And this brings me to Joe and Chris. They left on the 8th of October, the day after my birthday, and never fully refunded their deposit. But she let it slip, and what she let slip was, when I was last helping her, she wanted me to strip the bed, and I was okay. She got arthritis, she can't really pull the bed sheet. Okay, so the mattress was completely stained through on both sides. They were only there for 4 months. These stains looked like they were years old. And the next thing then she was like, "Oh, okay." So she says, "Could you make the bed?" So the next day I made the bed. And she goes, she basically then admitted slipping up and not realising until after, when I looked at her really funny. She goes, it was really manky. I put two bed skirts on to cover up the really mankiness of it. And I was like, I thought you didn't know about this until yesterday when I pulled off the bed sheets. And she totally realised what she had done, and she hadn't paid them back their money, and she kept, I think, 250. She told me 250 off the deposit to buy a new mattress. So she really ripped them off, and she didn't give a damn because she does it to every single person. She's already told us we will not get our deposit back, not a penny of it, because we have dogs. Despite the fact that that cottage is cleaner now since we moved in to the day that we arrived, and I photographs from the day that we've arrived and photographs since of rat poo everywhere, mold, just like thick, and I mean thick cobwebs hanging off, like decorations from Christmas, like a Christmas decoration on the ceiling, on the beams and everything. Everything was thick, lapping with dirt and cobwebs, and every single person, Joe, Chris, Oz and Dave, all had to clean our windows and clean the whole place down as soon as we moved in. I'm coming up to just over 9 minutes now, so I'm going to end it here, and I have so much more to cover. So we're going to do several different videos. I'll do as many as I can today. I'm going to see about going to get this up now on YouTube because I don't want to keep you guys waiting for any longer. So I'm going to leave it here. So thank you so much for joining me today again, and I will see you very shortly. So this is the first part of episode 2. So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.